Hi, family. My name is Kelly Jones, and I am the owner of Inspired Childcare Centers. And I am so excited for us to discuss our word of the week. So, our word of the week is self confidence. Self confidence means it is the belief in one's own abilities and judgment, leading to trust in oneself and a sense of control over one's life. So, one of the amazing things that I kind of picked up on when I was a child is that I had to have that safe space and environment where I can build my self confidence. And it's my ability to be able to understand that I have what it takes to become and be what I desire. And so as a child, I would always like go to school and I would watch my teacher teach us as students. She would have a certain routine of how she would go about passing out papers, how she would lead us in our lesson plans, and how she would engage with us. And so, after watching and observing my teacher over a period of time, like every school year, towards the month of May, we would get ready to leave school. So they would pass out any like old workbooks that we no longer use. And so we would just have like these leftover worksheets. So what I decided to do one summer, I said, hey, like I really want to create a safe space where I can build that self confidence to become a teacher. So I would start lining up my stuffed animals and I was very observant. So I understood that every day my teacher would check roll call. She would have her students' names and she would write on her roster who was in attendance and who was absent. And it was really interesting because I would take my stuffed animals. Like my stuffed animals couldn't talk to me, but I was like, hey, I'm going to talk to you. So I would line up my stuffed animals and I would begin to teach. I would start the day off. We would do the Pledge of Allegiance and I would just flow with the routine of what I saw being expressed in front of me. And so as we go throughout this week, be aware of the different areas that your child is trying to cultivate that safe environment for them to explore that new ability that they've been drawn to. So let's just say if your child wants to be an artist, they're going to the piece of paper, they're pulling out crayons, they're pulling out pens, and they're pulling out acrylic paint if you have acrylic paint or washable paint, depending on how your child decides to go about creating their artwork. But you're gonna see spaces where they engage with different desires or different things that they want to be able to do. And if your child is an engineer, they're gonna, come in when they see you with your toolbox. They're gonna see what tools that they need to build out a dresser, or if you're working on building furniture, they're gonna want to get involved and plug in into those areas. So this week, I just want to encourage you, like, what are some of those areas that you see your child trying to build their confidence and that new ability that they're learning and discovering? And what areas do you need to encourage your child and helping them to say, like, you have the ability to do this, and I'm going to create that safe space for you to explore your gifts and your skill sets. And so I love how Philippians 4:13 says, you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. So God has given us these different abilities. He's given us these different desires to become different things. And with those desires, he's given us the strength to follow those steps that are laid out, or that course that's laid out to get us from point A to point B. So I just want to encourage you this week to help your child discover what that natural skill set is, or that ability that they're trying to build their muscles in, to know that they have control over their life to become this artist, to become this engineer, to become this teacher, to become this business owner, and to support them in knowing that they have the strength to become that. So I'm super excited. I hope that this word self confidence has really stood out to you this week. And so let me know in the comments, share with someone who you feel will benefit from this. We also have our kid entrepreneurship program that's going to launch in Brownsville, Tennessee. So it's going to be a 1 day workshop where we sit down with your child. We discover what their skill sets and abilities are. We help your child to build that self confidence and momentum by engaging with them and helping them to have someone who's an entrepreneur to come in and to teach them about to share their story, to share their process, and and to help that child to build that momentum to build out their business. And at the end of the workshop, your child is going to have the opportunity to create a product or a service and to do a demo of what it is that they want to go into business doing. And so we do have our Inspire Child Care Center's curriculum that's going to help your child to explore those different abilities and skill sets. So if they're at a young age, this would be the perfect book for them. We also have our journal book for our entrepreneurship career mapping. So it helps your child to unpack different thoughts and different systems and beliefs that prevent them from stepping into entrepreneurship, helping them to remove those mental blocks that are hindering them from becoming the entrepreneur that they have been called to be. And also, we help them to walk out those steps of who their customers are, how to service their customers with that product or service that they will be providing. So if you're looking to order some of these products, you can go to our website or you can continue to engage in order to win your free copy of our Inspire Child Care Center's curriculum. And you can do that by liking our page, sharing our content, continuing to communicate with us about just your experience with these different words of the week and how they have impacted you. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you have an amazing day.